Let's dive in and see if we can find some treasure. Alright, what do we got here? Let's see. Trash. Junk. Trash. Oh, here's something. We might have found some treasure. What's going on, prospectors? Dig Daddy out here in the shed bringing you another episode of Backyard Prospecting. And today we got something. Now they will say one man's trash is another man's treasure, and I'm hoping today that we found some treasure in the trash. Because what we've got is a little bag of Paydirt from Bills Trash and Treasure. I picked up from them one of their quarter-gram Vermont Paydirt bags. Shipped out to me in the USPS packaging. Now, the bag itself cost me $30. Find it there on their website. I'll put a thing up here for you to see it, and we'll read it along and see what it's all about. This is a great beginner's bag. There will be a couple of 10 mesh pieces of gold and some smaller gold as well. It is highly recommended to go through your tailings more than once to ensure you recover the added gold. This is 100% unsearched, and the possibility of naturally occurring gold is likely. There will be a quarter grams of gold added to the package. If you do not recover at least a quarter grams of gold, keep panning. Whether or not you recover all the gold is based on your panning ability. Well, I'll recover all that gold. If it's in there, I'll get it. But it's touted to be a beginner's bag, so we'll see if that's true. I always say a beginner's bag is going to have very little black sands. Basically be a classified bag where you can just kind of shake through it real quick, find your gold, and you're done. Beginners don't go after flour. They should. They can go after whatever you got. But generally speaking, bigger golds for the beginners just so they can find it easily. They get an idea of what it even looks like. And we'll see if that's what we got here today. Now, like I say, the bag itself shipped to me in this nice USPS hard case shipping box. Inside that box, we got a USPS flat rate envelope, sealed up baggie, to kind of help contain anything should it bust out of the bag. And of course, in that bag, we find the bag of Paydirt itself. The bag of Paydirt itself is heat sealed. Good job. But I would like to see the bag itself in a Ziploc bag. That's just my personal preference. I like to have that extra insurance. But, you know, for the most part, I think if it had busted open for whatever reason, this probably would have contained everything. So I think we'll call that a double bag. Throw that in the trash. And there you go. We got ourselves some Paydirt beginner style from Vermont. Now we'll shake this all out, classify it up. It looks all pretty even. Looks all maybe 30 plus mesh stuff. So we'll probably just do a couple of classifications just to kind of separate stuff out and take a look at it. But this looks to be pretty straightforward, pretty simple dirt. So that beginner's label they put on it, I think is legit. So let's bust this open, classify it out, and we'll run us some dirt. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. Let's get you a little zoomy zoom. There you go. We got our Bills Trash and Treasure Vermont Paydirt. We got our pans. We got some classifiers. We got a couple shaky buckets. So let's do this. Now, I'm not seeing anything even close to 1/4 inch in here. So I think we're going to skip that altogether. Looking inside, confirmed, ain't no 1/4 inch in there. Nothing bigger than that. Nothing even getting close to that. So, I think we're going to skip that. Save that and that pan. And we'll move on to the 10 mesh. I think we're good 10 mesh up. I think there are some pieces that will separate out for us. So that's good there. My cans are backwards. There. So we'll start with the 10, work our way down, see what we're left with, and then we'll run it down the sluice. So we're going to speed things along, and we'll be right back. Gold, baby. All right, welcome back. We got this dirt all classified out. We got our plus 10 mesh, plus 20, plus 40, our coarse sands, and then our soft sands in the sub 40. So, a good even spread of material throughout. Each one of these goes about up to the bottom lip. I think there was either 1 or 2 pounds of material here. Let's go back to the description, see if it says. And you know, it actually doesn't say how much dirt you're going to be getting, but I'd say this is probably about, 1.5, maybe even 2 pounds. Material isn't very dense, heavy stuff. So I guess that would determine what kind of magnetics we find in there, because that will tend to be the heaviest thing in your sands, other than the gold itself. Now, as far as magnetics go down here in the sub 40, we do have a good amount. It's not. I don't know if I would call it excessive for a beginner's bag, but it's a little bit. There's a little bit in here. So, a beginner with some practice, a learn yourself some panning kind of bag, I guess. But there's definitely some black sands in here that you're going to have to contend with. So if you don't have one, I recommend getting yourself at least, at bare minimum, a magnet like this. Whatever kind of magnet you can get. These things are about $7 and worth it. Going up into the plus 40, man, there is actually a lot of magnetic material in here. Now, I mean, that's not a big deal for me, but again, this is a beginner's bag. So, that's not generally what you're going to want to see in a beginner's bag. A lot of magnetic material, a lot of heavies that are going to make it difficult. I would call this more of an intermediate or a standard bag. I mean, there's not a huge amount of black sands in there, but both pans so far have had a good amount. Now we'll go up to the plus 20. Usually we won't worry too much here, but this sand has some chunky magnetics in it. Even there, a lot of magnetics. A lot of... My little guy's got a fro, man. Go back and come up with another full thing of Maggies. And these are big chunky magnetics. These ones are the pain in the ass because they like to stick to each other. So I would probably not call this beginner's dirt. There's a fair amount of magnetics in there. Depending on how you opt to go through it, this may be all in there all at once. If you're panning it out naturally. If you're separating it out, it's still going to leave a good amount in your sluice or whatever you're running through. Going up to the +10, there's still even more. Look at that. Big pieces. Big chunky pieces of magnetic material. So definitely keep in mind that you're going to want to have a magnet on hand, or just deal with it the old-fashioned way, whatever you got to do. But they're there. So as you can see, a little stripe in each of the pans. As far as the material itself goes, it all looks natural, the same stuff all the way throughout. So it's just, smaller versions, smaller crunches of the same Paydirt. Again, nothing big, no plus 1/4 inch stuff, so we'll see how this goes. But so far so good. Just a lot of magnetics in there. I might even, since I got them semi-separated out here, I might just pull them out to begin with so I don't have to deal with them at all. I think that'd probably be the best idea. Alright, welcome back. We got this dirt all wetted up. The sluice is ready to rock. So let's fire this baby up and get the flowing. Oh, that's nice. Let's get you a little zoom in action here so you can see up close and personal everything that comes down the sluice. Now we're going to start off with that +10. We're going to bust through that real quick. I'm going to run it, especially considering that I already found a little picker in here. So I think I just saw a little bit more gold too, so that makes it good. That makes it nice. So let's run it. We'll move on to the next step. Alright, let's go head in and take a look. There's a little bit of gold in there, a little bit in there. I think I saw some in some of the cells over here as well. Maybe right there. So we're definitely going to be finding a little in here. Here's and there's some small pieces underneath, hiding underneath in those cells. And of course, let's not forget the picker that we found earlier. All right, well, let's get this cleaned up. There you go, baby. There's your gold. Zoomed in a little bit more. Let's not forget that picker we found earlier. And not too shabby. Not too shabby indeed. So we're going to get this all suckered up, dried out. Then we're going to weigh it out and see what we wound up getting. I'm thinking they hit that 1/4 gram. No problem. We may be even looking at a 1/2 gram. So we'll check that out here in just a moment. For now, see you on the other side. All right, welcome back. We got this gold all dried up, ready to be weighed out. Miner Bob's hanging by. Now, unfortunately, he lost his ass, but he's still mining that gold. So he's here with us today. Gonna find out how much gold is in this Bills Trash and Treasure from Bill and Jan. They're Vermont Paydirt, 1/4 gram guaranteed. And fire this baby up. Hello. All right. Well, let's see what we got. Well, there you go. We're already at a 1/4 gram. And then some. Well, that'll be an easy number to remember. 0.345 grams of gold. We'll pop that up there at the top. Boing. And we'll write this down so we don't forget. But not too bad. A 1/4 gram is what was guaranteed. 345 is what we wound up getting. So almost a tenth over what was guaranteed. Now that could have been naturally occurring. Who knows? But either way, I'm happy. So there you go. We'll take a couple pictures of this gold. Take a couple pictures of this gold and share those with you. And we'll be right back with my final words and ROI. All right, welcome back, prospectors. So there you go. Bills Trash and Treasures Vermont beginner's bag. Was about a 1.5 pounds of dirt or so. Not a huge amount. Of course, we'll talk about the dirt first. And the dirt was all really easy going. I would call it clean dirt. No big pieces in there. Consistent all the way throughout. Now, there was a bit more magnetics in there than I would expect for beginner's dirt. Like I say, I wound up getting about a 2-ounce vial's worth full of magnetic sands. If you add a magnet, you can pull those out. If you're going to run it straight through, you're going to have to deal with that. So something to keep in mind. I don't know if I would necessarily call this a beginner's bag, only because that black sand. I think beginners probably are going to have a little bit of a hard time dealing with heavy black sands like that. But overall, I definitely wouldn't call it an expert bag. I'd say it's somewhere in between. Probably on the lower end, just because, like I say, if you got a magnet, this is easy to deal with. If you don't, you're going to have a little bit more of a challenge. So, that being said, just keep that in mind. Otherwise, I had a good time going through this dirt. Went through it pretty quick, pretty easy. Didn't pose a huge challenge, and I saw gold throughout while I was prospecting or running the dirt. And yeah, not too bad. Now, let's talk about that gold. What we wound up finding was a little bit more than what was guaranteed. The gold itself was mostly all finer stuff. There was a couple pieces that were a little bit bigger. One was a picker. I found that in the 10 plus mesh. And was surprised because I was just brushing the sands aside, and there it was. So that was really easy to recover. After that, as I'm running the dirt, I'm seeing gold as I'm going through it. Not huge amounts, because again, this is a 1/4 gram guaranteed bag. But definitely like seeing that as I'm going through the dirt. It was good to know. It's a good reassurance that you're you're actually finding gold. And I did. Found about 0.345 grams. We'll just go ahead and put the sign up right now. The bag cost me $30. What we wound up finding was 0.345 grams of gold. I did a little adjustment to adjust for the fact that I got this a few weeks back. So as of the date of receipt or the date of shipping, gold was a little bit lower on the value. So what the value of it would have been at that point in time was $20.10. And doing the math, that's going to give us a ROI of 67%, which is pretty dang good. Not bad at all. Good amount of gold came back. The dirt, really straightforward. You know, there was no inclusions. There was not, other than the gold. There was no special weirdness to the dirt. It was just straight up dirt with, you know, some heavy sands in it. But overall, pretty decent bag of dirt. Good ROI for your time. And I would recommend checking it out. They got a lot of other bags on there. Now, Bills Trash and Tresasures, they are YouTubers as well. So go check out their channel. Make sure you give them a subscribe. They do Paydirt reviews, kind of similar to my channel. Paydirt reviews, gear reviews, and adventures. And so anything you purchase off their site is going to go towards supporting that. So definitely worth checking them out. Give them a holler, give them a shout out. Go check out their website, buy some Paydirt, support their channel, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You know the drill. Same thing I tell you to do here as well. And by the way, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button as well. But yeah, go check them out too. And go check out some of their Paydirt. Had a good time going through it, and I think you will too. So there you go. Bills Trash and Treasure. Today we found some treasure in the trash, and I gotta thank you for a great bag of dirt. So there you go. And that's all I got for you. Otherwise, this is Dig Daddy signing out from the shed. If I don't see you out at the rivers, I'll catch you in the backyard. Peace.